Hi everyone. Okay, today we're going to be using my Pisces color combo. You're going to need mica powders and acrylic paint, and that's it. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you everything in the video. All right, guys. Hi, my polymer clay friends. So we're working with translucent clays today. This is Sculpey. This is the style we're going to be making. In this one, I did use Fimo, but I'm out of Fimo, so... And I just didn't have the patience to condition my Cernet clay. So we will see if there is a difference with Sculpey. Sculpey does have a beige tint. You can counteract that with a tiny bit of purple ink or purple clay, but I think because we are coloring them with mica powders, we'll be all right. This is the only pre-colored clay we'll be using, which is Cernet turquoise translucent dough. I'll put that to the side. If you've got some mica powders or alcohol inks, I like the mica powders for this technique because they add all that shimmer. Which, let me zoom in. Zoom in closer. You'll be able to see all that shimmer and dimension. But, so I've got a rose pink, I've got a tender pink, I've got a pale green, almost like a seafoam green. And again, you can mix... any colors to get these colors, but this is the color palette we will be working with today. One sheet of clay, we will be using a color changing mica powder. I may end up using a piece of Cernet for that, just to get the clarity really clear. But so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 colors that we are making on our own, and then our Cernet trans. So I will mix those and be right back. Well, let me show you first. Okay, so with our mica powders, it depends on how saturated you want your color. So let me start with this pale green color. And remember, you're using powder on your clay, so it may not want to mix at first through your pasta machine, or unless you're using a roller clay or a roller, just because it dries it. And that was definitely too much. So just kind of play with it. You want to at least coat the front. I start with that, and then I'll coat the other side a little bit. And go ahead and mix that, and I'll show you what I mean. Well, it's actually mixing fine. So the more powder I use, the harder it is to stick together. Get out of my way. But you can already see that shimmer. Now this I mix thoroughly. Some I won't for faux stones. But see, like right here, it's not wanting to stick. So just be patient with it. You can go lower on the settings. Thinner to a 7, a 4. I'm on a 3 right now. And with translucents, you do not have to condition. So, I mean, they're soft enough. Obviously, we are conditioning today because we are mixing these colors in. So it's going to obviously condition as we mix. So here is our seafoam color. And this technique will be a mokume gane. I was thinking about doing a more of an agate, but I think I'm saying that right. But we're going to do more of a mokume gane just to get this basic. I have tutorials on my Facebook, but I've been getting a lot of requests for more detail, and you just can't get full detail in there, so I figured I will do a YouTube channel so you guys can get free tutorials. We'll see how that goes. I'm actually teaching my first in-person class on March 9th, and for the most part I'm self-taught, but I did learn a lot from Debbie over on Clay Boutique. She's amazing. And she's somewhere in the UK. But she does a lot of faux stone, which is, you know, my favorite. So I believe, nope, it was with the tender pink, I did add a drop of Kamenskaya alcohol ink and dusty pink, just to get a lighter pink. And go ahead and mix these, and I will be back. So this is the rose pink, and I still am not happy with them. I want it a little darker, so I am adding more powder. So again, it depends on how much powder you're adding to your clay. that gives it the darkness, or and it'll still be translucent with mica powder and alcohol ink, actually. The only time that you'll have an issue with the translucency is if you're using actual colored clay that does not have a translucent effect. Okay, so I'm happy with this pink. Now, what I was saying about, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix, that's fine. So I got a little bit of that rose, because this tender pink is really, like it says, tender. But anyways, so I started polymer clay about a year ago. I actually was with my granddaughter at Walmart, and I thought it was a brick of like air dry clay, and got home, and obviously it was super hard. I couldn't get it to, I didn't know what it was, so I Googled it, and that's where I basically met, which I've never met, but came across Clay Boutique's page, and since then I've been stuck. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get the closest as I can to the original, and here's one that's not resined, but this tender pink, I did grab ink, which I don't even know that it made a big difference. Oh, you probably can't hear me, hold on. I really don't know if it made that big of a difference. You may or may not have, but just to kind of keep that same look, we are going to try not to miss any steps. So again, if you've got a pink, that needed to be shook more. You've got a pink alcohol ink, and this same technique will work with the alcohol ink. You just won't have all the shimmer if you do not add some sort of mica powder. So let me get that ink in there. Now this could make it sticky if I added a lot. Can always add more of the powder. See, that's how the powder will not stick. So just work with it. Yeah, so that alcohol ink is really good, but I find even the cheap alcohol inks work. It depends on what you're going for, really. I found that more expensive stuff doesn't always mean better quality. All right, here's our tender pink. I just love those shimmers. You can see, this may need to mix a bit more. Actually, that'll be fine. Got our sea foam, tender pink, rose pink. Let me clean, always make sure you got a lot of baby wipes. Let's clean our tile. And my hands a bit, so I'm mixing all my colors. And here's another square, and we are going to be using, these are called chameleon powders. They're supposed to be color changing, and I mean, they can be, but I just find they're not that pigmented. Well, they're very pigmented, they just didn't show up much. So I did say I was going to try and use this on Cernet, but I didn't roll any out, and I already placed it, so let's go. As you can see, it's definitely pigmented and shiny, but I do not remember it showing that intensely on, where's that resined piece? On our resined piece. I guess we'll be able to see as we go, but maybe that piece just didn't have any. Again, let's mix that in on a level 3. I think I'm going to keep everything at a level 3 too as we stack and go. We will be using white acrylic paint and then some liquid clay at the very end. We're not going to be using gold flake, which I tend to do when I'm making my faux stones. So this is just it's adding shimmer, but as you can see, it's still the Sculpey. It's still going to be translucent. I'm hoping it doesn't have much beige, but that's all right. I got some pink from my hands on there. So basically just form all your pieces as close to a square, I guess, or even rectangle's fine, but as close to a square as you can, because we are going to be stacking. And remember your Cernet turquoise, which I've made a bit too much of. Actually, I'm going to keep that. I did like that. I might end up adding another layer of maybe the seafoam, as I really like that. But we shall see as I go. So let's grab some alcohol, or I mean acrylic ink, or acrylic paint, guys. Hi, babe. What you need?
Yeah,
She still didn't go. Well, tell her.
Huh?
I'll tell her. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me get some paintbrushes that are clean. I am so bad. I barely ever wash my paintbrushes, so I just go to the dollar store and just keep getting more and more. I do not like wearing gloves. Just an FYI, if you don't wear gloves, you're going to be messy.
Oh, nice.
Polymer clay is very messy.
Huh?
I'm recording a tutorial, so shut it. Shut it up. I'm recording a tutorial. You keep interrupting me and I'm losing my train of thought. All right, back to acrylic paint. So I'm using white. And that will give these beautiful little strips in there. Streaks. Because again, I don't know if you're familiar with mokume gane. We will be stacking each piece and taking slices with our flexible blade. It's another thing you'll need. I want a flexible blade and a roller. And then when we're done, you're gonna need your cutters of choice. You can make a pendant, bracelet. I've been making charm bracelets to match earrings lately, and I love them. But we're gonna wait till this dries. You can use a hair dryer if you like. I'm impatient, so I tend to do that. And then, but you want it fully dry before you stack, because if it's not dry, it's gonna leak onto everything you're working on. And I am going to do some more of that pale green, because I've got 2 of the turquoise and then 3 pinks. I want to do a really, really deep stack. Even though you'll see, I will be making a stack and cutting it in half again, but just to add more dimension, I'm going to do another pale green. So while this dries, I'll mix that up and then we'll go on to the next step of stacking.